All right, we should be back on. Apologies for that short interruption. Unfortunately, our internet decided to go down momentarily, but we are back live now, and we are 6 minutes into Chelsea versus West Ham here. We didn't miss any goals, fortunately, so we will continue where we were. A rude interruption there from our internet. And it's Millie Bright, currently going on a matey drive, tries to send one forwards. That one catches out Anouk Denton, and Kat Macario going forwards, brought down. Falls for Beaver Jones, who holds onto it nicely. Erin Cuthbert now gets it out wide to Hermano. That's slightly overhit. Hermano will try and keep it alive. Ball into the box. Chance for Nusken. Gets away from her. Now Beaver Jones looking to keep it alive. Knocks it back to Charles. Here's Bright. And now Bjorn. Tries to poke it forwards, and that ball laid off there by Beaver Jones in towards the path of Cuff, but runs through to King of Shemek and gets knocked out of play swiftly.
Good start from Chelsea. They've started fast. They've picked up where they left off from that Champions League semi-final, quarter-final. Really, really sharp. They're moving the ball quickly. They're really causing problems for West Ham. And at this rate, the Chelsea are going to dominate this game from start to finish. Really good start. And this is what we mean. When it gets to the business end of the season, when it gets to the crunch time, Chelsea really start to turn up the dial and raise their level every single game.
Indeed. Here is Micah Hermano. Back now to Bjorn. Now Bright. And Bright draws it into Cuthbert. Cuthbert looking to make something happen. Lifts it inside towards Yoka Nusken. Nusken outstretched, unable to reach it. And out now for a West Ham goal kick.
Yeah, not bad that from Cuthbert. Trying to pick out her centre midfield partner. It's not a bad ball in. You want that to be the other way around, really. You want to see Nusken crossing it in and Cuthbert throwing herself at it.
But then again, Sioka Nusken does score goals. We know this by now. And a chance now for Chelsea. Give away from the West Ham defence. Chance for Nusken. And she just tried to overplay it a little bit too much there. Falls for Cuthbert now. Back to Nusken. Can Chelsea get a shot away? Hermano to Aggie Beaver Jones. A few step overs, holds on to the ball. Chelsea just having too much of it, too high here. Lawrence shot is blocked. It's charged down well by the West Ham defender. It's out now for a Chelsea corner.
Yeah, and massive let off for West Ham. Someone in a Chelsea shirt's got to have a shot there. Got to pull the trigger. Just trying to pass it into the net and just wanted to give it to someone else. Someone's just got to have a go.
Indeed. Thanks to people joining us now. Lousy and Philly, it's good to see you in the live chat. Apologies again for that interruption. Very frustrating, but we are back now. Ball in towards the 6-yard box, headed away. It's going to fall for Jean-Francois. Now out to Ashley Lawrence. Lawrence to Hermano. Hermano down the line, finds Erin Cuthbert. Cuthbert holds on to the ball well. Plays it inside, it's cut out. And Hanshaw's clearance, blocked by Cuthbert. And blocked by Nusken, sorry, and out now for a West Ham goal kick.
Yeah, West Ham can't get out of their penalty areas. It's relentless from Chelsea. And, it's one of those where the performance is so good that you just feel a goal is going to happen. You know Chelsea are going to score at some point because West Ham just cannot cope. They're trying to play out, and I respect that, and I get they want to play football, but it's just not getting them anywhere. Again, they've bought themselves in their own corner, and they've gone long and they've lost it. It's not. They've got to find a new game plan.
Yeah.
Chelsea have already had 16 touches in West Ham's penalty area. 16 in 10 minutes. It's ridiculous. Fast start, high pressure. West Ham should be happy they're still 0-0.
Here is Millie Bright. Now Aggie Beaver Jones holds on to it well. Charles. Pass inside, it's cut out, and West Ham looking to break now. Shakira Martinez on the ball. Driving forwards, cut out well there by Jean-Francois. Now Aggie Beaver Jones. Here is Niamh Charles. Jean-Francois. Beaver Jones back posts it down the line. It's cut out, but Jean-Francois will keep it going here, and it's knocked out of play by Amber Tisiak.
Good stuff up from Jean-Francois. I think she did really well when she came in for that league game against Man City, and a player that hasn't had too many minutes in a Chelsea shirt this season, but when she has had minutes, I think she's looked pretty handy, and it's definitely grown over the course of the season.
definitely.
Her first game in the Champions League was a little bit nervy, but now has really suited this Chelsea side.
I think considering how little she's played for this Chelsea team, she looks incredibly comfortable. And that's a searching ball forwards from Millie Bright, but unable to find a teammate. Jemek. Playing down the left-hand side. West Ham now, and that's overhit and out of play for a Chelsea throw. It's thrown long to Macario. Good hold up from Katerina Macario. Pokes it towards Nuskin, who finds Aviva Jones, but it's cut out in there. Will be kept alive here by Cuthbert. Waiting for some support. Darts inside with the ball. Unable to find a teammate. Does now find Natalie Bjorn. Bjorn lays it out to the right-hand side. Here's Ashley Lawrence. Wants to take on Vivian Asayi. Good defending from the French winger. Kept alive, though, by Lawrence. And the Canadians' ball into the box is blocked. And there's calls for handball. Not given, though, by the referee down.
Don't think so. Don't think it was. I mean, you've
Top
got
one to call.
Yeah, you've got Lino and Abby Byrne in there. You know, very close, but yeah, it looked too close to her body. One of those you always want to see a replay, though.
Yeah.
Chelsea, this is really good stuff.
Orion Jean-Francois looking to switch the play. Neve Charles gets it down towards Cuthbert. One back though by Shakira Martinez. Martinez playing it in behind, looking towards that run there. And that is out for a Chelsea goal kick.
Yeah, Chelsea have started well. I'm not quite sure what the random punts forward are. They're really good football, and then just a couple of times where you had Millie Bright do one, you had John Francis just smash out the pitch. Really bizarre decision. Let's have a look. I mean, I think it would have been a very harsh handball. No, that's handball. That's handball. That is a penalty, but that's difficult to see. Well, is it actually?
I was going to say seems quite a blatant handball, but alas,
the arm swings
play
out.
Goes on. Cuthbert tries to take it forwards and can't. It's cut out well in there by Denton. Pass inside now. Flicked round the corner by Gorey. Picked off by Erin Cuthbert. Cuthbert now forwards to Macario. Chelsea with players to use and attack. That is an ambitious pass to Hermano. Will be kept alive though by Micah Hermano. Ball into the box. Macario header. Blocked and then saved by King Hashem.
Yeah, good move from Chelsea. Macario took all the momentum out of it though by playing a massively overhit pass to Micah Hermano.
Yeah.
And again, an overthrow from Shemek, and Chelsea have another throw of their own.
Clifford Crabello, thank you for the kind words, saying thanks for doing these. You're very welcome. Thank you for joining us for this game. That's another handball there. West Ham have got to get their arms down today, or eventually. You feel that Burn's going to have to give something. Forward ball from Natalie Bjorn, trying to find Agiviva Jones, who tries to keep that in touch and ends up almost jumping into the cameraman.
Again, I don't get why Bjorn's done that. I get she wants to find a switch, but that's Chelsea just punting the ball forwards at times.
Here is Anouk Denton. Yeah, it has been a bit of a wild game so far.
When they get the ball
getting
down,
smashed everywhere.
With the wind as well, just get the ball down and play football.
Beaver Jones tries to put it in the box. That is cleared away. And West Ham have no intention of trying to complete a pass today.
No, they can't get out their own half. This is really good stuff from Chelsea. It did take Chelsea though, even when they won 5-0, it did take them. They end up having to score about 3 or 4, screamers, belters outside the box to win that game, which may be required today at this rate. Because West Ham are doing very well to defend their penalty area.
Yeah, Bjorn. Now Jean-Francois. Bjorn again. Now here's Millie Bright. Neve Charles. Pass inside. Nice turn from Agiviva Jones, and she's trying to pull away here from Gorey. Gorey does well to keep up with her. Here's Erin Cuthbert. Siren, good tackle, and now West Ham will just smash the ball out of play. The problem West Ham have here is even if they win the ball back, they immediately just give possession back to Chelsea. And I get it, it's a tough game to be a part of because you're playing a very difficult opponent, but it feels impossible to see West Ham coming over the win here if they don't actually play football. Macario puts the ball into the box, Going to fall for Lawrence. Heads it down to Hermano, who takes aim. And that's the first goal of the game. Chelsea 1, West Ham 0. And you felt it was coming. Chelsea with an endless peppering of that West Ham goal. West Ham were able to get out of their own half, and Chelsea find the breakthrough. Mike Hermano with a well-struck effort.
Yeah, really nice finish. Lawrence does well to adjust to it and set her up nicely, but Chelsea reaping the rewards, really, from this early pressure. A deserved goal. West Ham have been on the ropes. Got used to Chelsea playing City so often, but West Ham on the ropes, and eventually Chelsea land a big hit. Hermano, it's a good effort. Šemić should do better and save it, but Chelsea find the back of the net, finally, after 16 minutes.
Yeah, indeed. It has to be said, it's nice of West Ham to wear Man City's away kit today to make sure Chelsea feel at home. Good head down from Lawrence, she adjusted well, and it just sat up wonderfully for Hermano, who struck it well. Chelsea 1, West Ham 0.
Yeah, she does well. It's not the placement, it's the power that beats King of Šemić, because it was smashed straight at her, but she can't parry that one out.
Great pressure from Nuskan, almost winning it off Amber Tisiak. Tisiak gets away with it though. West Ham trying to play out. Falls now for Gory. One back by Nuskan. Now Cuthbert. It's the intensity that Chelsea play with at the moment that's causing West Ham the most issues. Chelsea want to move the ball quickly. Chelsea want to win the ball back quickly. Everything is just quicker than West Ham want it to be.
And for West Ham, I'm getting such a mixed message right now, because they get a goal kick and they, from that kick-off, they want to get the ball down, they want to play. But when they win it back, they just smash it out for a throw. I don't understand what their game plan is. Because 1 minute, they want to get the ball down and take the game to Chelsea. The next minute, they just want to put it out of King's Meadow and rest.
It feels like predominantly it's if you've got the ball, let's smash it out. If there's an opportunity to get the ball on the deck, let's try and play football. I also wonder if we now see a change to that strategy now that they are down by a goal. Because they can't hold on now to a point.
No.
And I don't think smashing it out of play every time you see the football is very conducive anyway of holding on to a point.
No. Puts Chelsea 8 clear as it stands, which would only mean that they would be 2 wins away from another WSL title. 6 in a row.
Which, if it's scheduled nicely, they could win it away at Tottenham.
And that would be funny.
Which is always amusing.
Especially the way Tottenham have played this season.
If it's scheduled that they have to play between the Barcelona legs against Crystal Palace or Man United, it could be that they win it at Manchester United. Either or, it's an amusing spectacle.
Yeah.
But that United game, being rearranged, could be incredibly beneficial to United.
Yes.
Because if Chelsea have already won the league by the time they play United, and have potentially an FA Cup final and potentially a Champions League final in hand, they'll probably rest up and take their foot off the gas for that Man United game.
Potentially.
So that could have how the WSL now does their fixtures could have huge consequences on who gets Champions League football and who finishes at the end of this season.
I just don't understand, to be honest, why you'd schedule games when you know the Champions League semi-finals are going to be. That seems brain dead. When you've got 3 sides that are competing in the competition, why would you put league fixtures on a European weekend?
I guess in theory you could end up with, you've got a schedule at the start of the season, you could end up with no English sides in Europe. But especially once you'd seen that Chelsea Man City was happening, I think having WSL weekends, game weeks on weekends where there's Champions League football doesn't help.
No.
Because who's watching that?
Just put all 6 teams in the midweek.
Yeah, exactly. Or just put them on weekends where we haven't had fixtures.
Yeah.
No, we started in September. We could easily have started 2 weeks earlier. But I guess the downside to that is that for some WSL teams, they don't have a game in April.
Yeah, true.
Macaria. Now Orient Jean-Francois. Lawrence. Nuskan. Ball into the box. It feels mad just slide its way through there. Here is Niamh Charles now puts it into the box. That is blocked. Cuthbert. We'll go back now to Bjorn.
That ball was one of those where if Kat Macario knew that Zadorsky was going to miss it, then she probably would have scored.
Macario pokes on through towards Cuthbert. Cuthbert does well to get a touch on the ball and keep that move alive. Now Niamh Charles. Into Beaver Jones. Charles. Macario gets it back to Aggie Beaver Jones, and it's 2-0 Chelsea. A wonderful move. crafted excellently and finished off well by Aggie Beaver-Jones, and quickly this game is getting out of hand. 20 minutes on the clock and it's Chelsea 2, West Ham 0.
That is pure class. That is pure class from Chelsea. An absolutely brilliant move. Lovely 1-2 touch football to break through the lines. And Chelsea are absolutely cruising to victory here. West Ham do not stand a chance. The Blues are blowing them out of the water. What a ball that is from Neve Charlton to Macario. Macario around the corner. And Beaver-Jones again pokes it past Shemick, who should do better. But again, Chelsea, brilliant move.
Yeah, and it just feels that West Ham's bubble has burst. And they are just falling to defeat her. They're making it too easy for the Blues. And Chelsea, running rampant at the moment, struck well. Poked forwards well with the laces of Beaver-Jones. And Chelsea double their advantage.
Chelsea are in the mood for a C result. Chelsea are hunting a big win here. Beaver-Jones onto 11 goals this season. For a backup striker, for a rotation striker, that is incredible.
Yeah, indeed. Ball forwards now from Hanshaw. Headed down by Bjorn. West Ham looking to try and get back into this one. That pass, though, not going to find a teammate. Out for a Chelsea throw.
8 in the league, that is. But that's 11 in all comps, by the way.
For Beaver-Jones.
Yeah, but 8 in the league.
I think her contribution this season has been understated. And I think in the first half of the campaign, a lot of it was because her goal-scoring efforts were coming in games where Chelsea was 7-0 up. Yeah. And she was coming on to score a brace or whatever. But you know, you look at last weekend against Man City, she led the line in the WSL fixture and she was brilliant and she scored a very important goal. I think you look at Beaver-Jones' contribution throughout this campaign, and when in a season where Lauren James has sustained a long injury, where Sam Kerr's been out for the whole campaign, where there was no Gura Wrighton for a bit, Carnerie had a spell where she just wasn't firing, I think the one consistent throughout it all has been Aggie Beaver-Jones.
Yeah, and the other metric you put it into is she's 1 goal off Turland. She's three goals, 2 goals off Russo in the league. No, 3 goals off Russo in the league. So these are number 9s who have started week in, week out for their clubs. And
Russo, by the way, is the golden spark of England, is held in such high esteem. Aggie Beaver-Jones wasn't even given a minute in the most recent international break.
Yeah, it's a bizarre one. That's not saying it's not a discredit on Russo. No. It's a credit to Aggie Beaver-Jones needs more credit.
And a question of Serena Wakeman.
Yeah.
Give her minutes this international break. She's the only Chelsea player I want to see in an England shirt.
Don't use the 2 up front because neither of them want to do that.
No.
That is something that I could definitely see happening, but don't do it.
Lousy, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Chelsea are not going to win this game 10-0. If they do, we're in for a very fun afternoon. And King of Shemek here, is she injured or is she being told off for time wasting?
She's injured.
It is an injury. So the game will be halted to allow the West Ham physios to come and treat King of Shemek. And you do always have that nihilistic view on the goalkeeper.
Well, she's not even
becoming injured when they just stood there.
She just stood in her goal and gone, "Ref, I'm injured," and they're just gone, "What do you mean you're injured? You're stood out. You ain't that goal kick."
But this will give Rayanne Skinner a chance to talk to her players and just reinforce the message that was before kickoff. Pre-match message.
What do you say now?
That now has gone out of the window.
Yeah, West Ham had a shocker. Yes, Chelsea are out to kill and are being brilliant.
Just in Basil in the background, so that's good to see.
Brilliant, but West Ham are letting them play like this. It's appalling. Appalling from West Ham. You know, everything they did right last week has just gone out the window. All the game plan they brought in today has just gone out the window. I mean, you know it's a hot day and Basil hasn't got a hat on.
Oh, but I was going to say, I'm gutted you saw him because I was going to ask, do you reckon Basil has hair or not? Because he's not. I don't think I've ever seen him without a hat before.
I'd also like to say, King of Shemek is the worst actor in the world. She didn't even bother going down, and then when she did her ankle was getting treatment, she was there laid back with her arms just enjoying the sun. You know, Rayanne Skinner is to teach King of Shemek how to fake an injury properly.
That's training on Monday.
Yeah, West Ham have got to find something to hold on to this game, how to get a grasp on it, because if not, I don't think Chelsea will score 10, but they'll score quite a few.
Indeed. Stephen Huggins, welcome to the stream. Phil says the fixture makers have been awful all season. Well, yeah, we're coming out of a run of watching Chelsea Man City 4 times in a row, so I'm inclined to agree.
Yeah, Chelsea Man United cancelled because of fixture problems with talks with your UEFA and all that. It's a joke. I don't get how it is so wrong. It's like no. It's like one of those things where when you're in an office, no one talks to each other, and 3 people organise an end of year party. It's like people. The organisation's got to start talking to each other.
And I know people say, the Chelsea Man City thing was kind of unavoidable, but they were well aware that Chelsea Man City could have met in both of those competitions, and they still put the WSL game on that weekend. And I know that they may randomise the fixture list, just swap 2.
Yeah.
Earlier in the season, or later in the season, sort that out. They also could play the League Cup final in February, because there is like a month between the semis and the final.
Yeah, I don't get that either.
Which isn't entirely necessary. But here is Beaver Jones. Puts the ball into the box. Gingerzemek claims it well. I get for travel and stuff like that, but don't put it at Pride Park and it wouldn't be such a problem.
But the other thing as well is that why even it doesn't even matter what teams are in it, but why would you put a League Cup final only a week and a half before a Champions League court? Like just things like that. Just think about it.
Yeah, it's the same in the Liga F, though, to be fair. Their League Cup, I know their League Cup isn't as hotly contested.
Well, they should also think about it.
Yeah.
Everyone needs to have just to think about it.
I think that's the most important thing right now is that every one of the various different leagues needs to come together and put the schedule together. Here come West Ham, Martinez, ball into the box, and that's headed away by Ashley Lawrence. I think the Subway League Cup's on borrowed time anyway.
But then FIFA are talking about putting World Cups and Challenge or whatever they keep calling this new thing they're creating.
I hate that. I think a Club World Cup, a proper Club World Cup in the women's game would actually be good.
Yeah,
and yet they've delayed that by a year, so it will now be in the January of a World Cup year.
Which is crazy.
Which is stupid.
And because they're adding some other cup thing.
Yeah, I also hate
that. Don't get that one either. It's just like, right, so no one knows how to organise fixtures yet, domestically and in Europe. So let's throw in another 2 international domestic competitions. It's crazy. Yeah. West Ham have a free kick. They might be able to get the ball into Chelsea because the ball might hover above the Chelsea box for the first time in this game, which would be good for West Ham. Positive though.
Ball into the box from Vivian Asai, and that is claimed well by Hannah Hampton, and the ref has stopped play here.
The ref wasn't ready, so Asai's going to get another go. So basically what's happened is Asai's just crossed the ball in straight to Hannah Hampton. The ref's going to have another go. Because that was absolutely rubbish.
Chipped it back to the goalkeeper, and ref wasn't happy.
Take 2.
This one is towards West Ham players. Chip cleared away with relative ease by Kat Macaro, though.
It'd been brilliant if she'd done the same thing again.
Yeah. Jean-Francois tries to keep it in play, can't quite. Throwing now for West Ham on the far side. Quite sure it asked the sevens thing. Yeah, is that what is that?
It's like the 7 different European winners.
That thing, I don't think any of the actual players are going to play, are they?
So what's the point?
That's the tournament before the Women's Champions League final, isn't it?
So exactly.
So on the week of the Women's Champions League final, loads of different. I don't know. I think you're thinking of something else that's on the men's game. But the week of the Champions League final, 8 random teams are going to have 7-a-side teams, and they're all going to play a tournament. But they're not going to be clubs. They're just going to be people who want to have a game.
Well, they're not be randomers, are they?
I think they might. They might be just like
Jill.
KSI. Yeah, it will be Jill Scott probably.
What FIFA officially organised?
No, it's not FIFA.
It is.
No, that's another thing. The 7-a-side thing isn't FIFA.
How many different?
FIFA's Challenge Cup, I think, is they're gonna do like a mini Club World Cup and then bring in the Club World Cup.
So stupid. Just stop adding tournaments.
So you know the current format of the Club World Cup, where the 7 winners play.
Yeah.
That will now be the Challenge Cup.
Oh.
And then they'll have 3 or 4 years of Challenge Cups, and then every 4 years will be the Club World Cup.
Right.
They're all playing one big one.
Wow. I think they should just have one big cup. And just
all of the teams. Give it a lead. All the teams in one big cup, and the winner gets a trophy.
I know it will never be possible, but I would love to see a worldwide FA Cup style, knockout cup. Obviously, it wouldn't be doable because you have.
I'd do the World Cup in that style.
But Chelsea, yeah. Oh, yeah, that makes
I'd
more
put
sense.
all of the nations in the world in just one big knockout tournament. That's the World
What
Cup.
country we do it in though?
Oh God, it's gonna be like Russia.
Why Russia? Why don't you say Europe or USA?
It's the biggest one. They'll fund it or something. And also, it's FIFA. It's the only place that makes sense. Here's Agamiva Jones tries to take on Tissiak.
If you hadn't guessed, Chelsea
for a corner.
are absolutely cruising in this game. They're in complete control, and this is going to be a Chelsea win.
Alex says, "Hello, Harry and Jack. Have you seen the Mido worldie from earlier?" I haven't.
Her first goal.
Oh, did you see?
Well, the caption was take a bow at me in full caps, and I thought, oh my days, I'm going to see an absolute screamer. It was a good volley from the edge of the area, but it wasn't. I wouldn't have put it like top 5 goals I've seen. I mean, it was a decent goal. If it is the first one, I know she scored again in the 91st minute.
An upcoming video. Top 5 goals I've seen, and it's just your face on the thumbnail.
3 of them, people wouldn't even know where they are, what clubs they are. But yeah, I think it was a good goal. Yeah, don't get me wrong, good volley and nice way for her to score.
This is a nice volley from Hermano.
That is a nice volley. It was better. Meads was better than that. I can say that much.
Okay.
So that's. But yeah, edge of the area. She caught it nicely, but I mean, maybe I didn't see it properly. That's also plausible. But yeah, Chelsea cruising.
Alex said no. The Mido second goal.
Oh, okay, that makes more sense.
She was on a storm with them for volleys. The question was, I think it's clubs, but they haven't been announced yet. Oh, what, the Sevens thing? I have no idea what they're doing with that. Anyway,
Gory's done for West Ham.
Find out, and that is a big shame for West Ham. Not only in this game, but in the context of their season as a whole, incredibly important player for West Ham.
Yeah.
Well, Chelsea will take the corner now. Hermano swung in there, Millie Bright heads it into the home end.
So not only are West Ham now down to 10 players momentarily, Katrina Gory is also injured.
I also like the sequence of messages from Michael in the stream. It says, "Hello, welcome to the stream, Michael." It says, "How you doing today? Hope I joined on time." Followed by a message, "Oh, it's already 2 now."
Yes. Unlucky, Michael. You missed something.
Missed a couple of goals. Hopefully Chelsea have a few more in the locker for you. Cuthbert finds Beaver Jones. Looks to get a shot away. It's blocked well there by Anouk Denton. Beaver Jones back to Bright. Now Jean-Francois. Bjorn.
Does it surprise you sometimes how little the ball actually leaves Kings Meadow?
That's brilliant from Beaver Jones. Yeah and no. Because they are professional footballers.
They are professional, top standard footballers, but with the ground being not that tall.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same with any. No.
But equally, like our local, it's only a handful of times that hits the road. Shot snap from Macario, blocked well, and hitting the stand, and that is out for a corner. Brilliant from Selena Zadorski to get in front of that one.
Again, superb from Macario. She looks really sharp leading that line for Chelsea today. Lovely ball into her feet from Jean-Francois. Great turn from Macario. And without a recovering tackle from Shalina Zadorski, that would have been 3-0 Chelsea.
Incredible block from Zadorski.
Macario just seems to want to smash everything today. Well, Brynjar's dot is on for West Ham. Finally, they've managed to replace Gory. That was a solid 2 minutes there. Was like,
to be fair though, she literally just walked off. Yeah. Like, here's an armband, I'm going home. Ball into the box, headed away by there's Martinez in there. Now Cuthbert looking to keep this alive for Chelsea. Hermano puts into a dangerous area. Jemic claims it well though, and West Ham could look to break.
No.
Now they will.
Ooh, here we go. No. Didn't fancy that one, but again,
they had an opportunity there.
Where
Chelsea had like 10 players in the penalty area. 8 players in the penalty area, and they've just gone, oh, no, we won't break at speed, we'll just roll it out, and then get stuck in the corner. Good block again from Anouk Denton. Oh, sorry, Menwen Lee this time. Now it's Hermano looking to take on Lee. Pass inside, finds Beaver Jones. Trying to take on Denton. Hermano. Here is Neve Charles.
But again, there, West Ham decide to roll it out and try and play football. So why do then the other half of the times they just lob it out of play?
I don't know.
I don't understand what Rayan Skinner's told her side to do today. Smash the ball out.
Feels like if they're on the left-hand side, they try and play football, and on the right side, they just smash it into the crowd. Aaron Cuthbert, great dribble. Tipped onto the bar wonderfully by King Shemik.
Huge save. Really good stuff from Aaron Cuthbert and a really good save from Shemik.
That's a mazy little dribble.
Yeah.
Tight and tidy control. And then getting that shot away, firing one at Shemik.
Really good stop.
Into the bar.
Gives West Ham a half a chance. But really good from Cuthbert.
As Clifford said, West Ham not offering any form of attack. One shot in this game for the Hammers.
When was that?
Chelsea have taken 10. What a save from Shemik.
It's a really good stop. Cuthbert struck that so nicely.
And I would walk.
And love the goal against West Ham.
Miles. She does indeed. Scored in all of our last 5 appearances against the Hammers.
Wow, 5 in 5. Love the derby.
Really bright.
Right,
Mowing the lawn with that.
Chelsea could be 4 or 5 up. They just stop punting it long. Millie Vital's playing these like they're not even passes. They're just I'm gonna give him a goal kick for a bit of fun.
Yeah, I don't know. Real daisy cut a pass, but no one was running on.
Mate, is the plan to give away the goal? I mean, this is obviously well, maybe it's not a joke. It's a plan to give
West Ham
to give him a goal kick and then to win the ball back. 13 shots in 37 minutes. That's incredible.
And they've added 3 more than Footmob have. I don't know how there's such a discrepancy. Ball poke towards Hermano. I guess it'd just be different data.
I mean, 2 on target isn't great. But I've been intrigued to see how many are blocked and how many are wide.
Yeah.
I mean, Brighton had 13 shots inside the penalty area and still managed to put so 13 of their Brighton's 20 shots were inside the penalty area. They put 2 on target in the penalty area. What were they doing with it?
I don't know.
Well, we'll work that out for tomorrow, and then we'll talk about it.
Equally, what was the game last week where it was Arsenal put loads off target?
Yeah.
I think it was Arsenal.
It was Barcelona versus Wolfsburg in the second half, but Barcelona had 25 shots in 45 minutes.
Well, Barca-Wolfsburg first leg, I remember Barca had more touches in the opposition box than Wolfsburg made passes in the opposition half. Ridiculous. What's the point?
Well, this half has flown by because Chelsea... This is when Chelsea...
the ball.
Yeah.
But yeah, as you say, we are fast approaching half-time.
Game has flown by.
Indeed. Nuskin there, leaning in on Ueki. Ueki does well, actually, to be a physical presence against Yoka. Nuskin ball up the line. Martinez holds it up well. But a pass back isn't of the same quality. Jean-Francois sees off Siren well towards Macario, intercepted well in there.
Just been a couple of times where the passes from West Ham, I mean that one from Martinez, not even remotely near picking out our own player. It genuinely is very. I mean, that's
really panicked. I think at times.
It's just random. And again, mixed messages as clearly as a mixed game plan. Half the team want to smash it clear, half the team want to play football, and it's just creating a really bizarre game plan for West Ham.
Yeah. Nice use of repetition there, Harry, to emphasise your point. Here is Ashley Lawrence. Almost gets dispossessed. Is then dispossessed by a save. Ball out wide to this left-hand side now. And West Ham forming a meaningful attack. Ball into the box. It's going to run. And it's a chance now for Anouk Denton to make something happen. Goes back. Ball in from Lee. Cleared away convincingly by Jean-Francois. Chelsea, though, messing around with it on the edge of their own penalty area. And West Ham try and poke a few shots forward. It is then claimed by Hampton.
Yeah, not bad from West Ham. Again, they getting the ball down, playing some nice stuff. So credit to them, because it's very hard when it is a Chelsea onslaught for 38 minutes. Get yourself forward, get yourselves on the ball. They're only 2-0 down. If they get a goal, they're right back in it.
Yeah, indeed. Billy says back from getting food. What happened to Gory?
Went home.
I was going to say, not really sure. She took her armband off, gave it to her teammate, walked off the pitch. I assume she was injured and hadn't just had enough, but Hopefully, for our sake, it's not too severe an injury. Hopefully, for West Ham's sake, it's not too severe an injury. Beaver Jones, now Neve Charles. Bright. Into Siokanuskan. Bright chips it forwards. And that's going to run through now. Not back to our goalkeeper by Zadorski. Jemic lifts it forwards. Orange Jean-Francois and Bright in a mix-up there. Ball forward, though, is cut out by Lawrence.
Shakira Martinez had 3
What a
options
chance.
there, and she picked out the only wrong option. It's just not happening. Not happening for West Ham today.
Denson, all right. You through the middle. Could have kept carrying it. Tries to pick out a wonder ball to the left-hand side. West Ham archive force now, though. Martinez strikes it well. Strikes it home. Chelsea 2. West Ham 1.
Wow.
And while we criticised her for a poor choice a moment ago, but that was not a bad effort at all. And that is giving Chelsea something to think about now. West Ham pulling a goal back.
So what on earth has just happened? Chelsea onslaught for 38 minutes, but West Ham have come alive in the last 3 minutes. Chelsea have just gone to sleep.
Too casual from the Blues. It's 2 balls there.
Yeah.
Completely misjudged by defenders.
Just 2 crosses into the box.
Bright misjudges it horribly. And Martinez strikes it straight at Hampton. Hampton seems to dodge out the way of it.
Well, that's hit. Really shouldn't have. Yeah, it's a really weird one. Just Chelsea have completely switched off, and West Ham are right back in this game. Really good. Really nice.
Saw it a moment ago. I don't know what was happening. Bright got Jean-Francois jumped in front of Millie Bright. Bright couldn't deal with the ball there. Millie Bright just completely misjudges it.
Yeah, Chelsea got too comfortable. The problem is, and this is what happens. They were playing like they were 3 or 4-0 up. That's how good they were playing. They had the ability. Problem is, then they're not, and they weren't. And now they've been punished for it.
Yeah.
And now West Ham right back in this game.
Right. Bjorn. Lawrence slides a ball in behind. Nobody wants to go and get it. I'm not sure what Burns given here.
It's a Chelsea free kick.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
The camera work's been really weird today from Sky. We cut back up earlier and Chelsea were in on goal. And they've been showing highlights for 3 minutes. Here's Hampton. Now Bjorn. Also, it's too easy for Chelsea. They've decided to do an Arsenal impression. Indeed.
Again, make it more difficult themselves. Just go, right, we're going to give them a go and see how we react. But again, though, it's unnecessary. Chelsea don't need to do this. Don't need to put themselves in positions where things could get a little bit dicey.
Yeah. Here it's Charles. Nice give and go with Aggie Beaver Jones. Pass inside to Beaver Jones. Looks to get a shot away now, but it's not a great effort. And again, it's into the home faithful.
Yeah, you just knew. Someone's got rid of that. You just knew that wasn't going in. The way that was set up with the players in front of her, the angle that she had, hadn't worked out where she was in relation to the goal. Bit of a rogue one that from Beaver Jones. But Chelsea looking to end the half strong.
And they could do that from this West Ham goal kick. Jemic. Chelsea with the high press again. Ball forced long. Jean-Francois pounces out of play, out of the ground. And you questioned earlier, why doesn't the ball go out of Kingsmeadow more? And there's an example of it doing so.
It's not like non-league day where you have to get one of the managers to welly the ball across the pitch. I want to see Rayanne Skinner just play like a daisy cutter.
I think it'd be gone past still, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would.
So it's the home manager.
It's funnier. Really good from Asai. This is the thing with Chelsea. One big error.
It's grabbed quite a few times in there.
Chelsea, one big mistake. If Millie Bright slips over on the ball or something, then suddenly it's 2-2. Well, they've got to score first, but Chelsea got to be careful now. Things don't just get a little bit silly here.
Allows them back to their original prediction of 3-1 Chelsea.
10-0's gone out the window there.
Yeah. 5 minutes of additional time in this first half. We did have Katrina Gorey down. We did have King and Jemic with a horrible, horrible injury. But West Ham have got better since that tactical break, haven't they?
They have, and they've done well, as you say. King and Jemic with some interesting acting to go down. But yeah, they've responded quite well, and credit to them. And Chelsea haven't really done anything.
Charles driving inside. Here's Hermano. Should have let that run
Yeah.
out wide, but Chelsea are still progressing. Lawrence needs support. Jean-Francois is there. Now it's Lawrence again. Back to Bjorn. Cuthbert. Tries to slide the ball in behind. Doesn't quite come off. Jean-Francois. Good interception. Cuthbert. Police all predicted Desmond, but it was based purely on hope. Ball slid through again, though. Chelsea's ball going to go through to Kingajevic.
Yeah, weird scenario now, because this was never a 2-1 game. This was never a 2-1 half, sorry. This was, Chelsea were in cruise control. We were in complete control.
Yeah. That's now been thrown into...
Yeah, really weird.
chaos.
Anyway, they've settled down now. West Ham got their goal. Chelsea have decided, right, we're going to play football again. And now knocking the ball around much, much better.
New Charles holding on to it well. Back now to Millie Bright. Bright into Hampton. Martinez in the press. Hampton lifts it out to the right-hand side. Lawrence brings that ball down well. Pass forward, lacking a bit of zip though. It'll fall into midfield where Siren pokes it to Martinez. She gets her legs all in a muddle. Tries to poke the ball through to Ueki. Doesn't quite come off. Now Asai. Ball inside. Headed away by Millie Bright. Going to drop in there now for Brynjarsdottir. Blocked and then saved by Hannah Hampton.
Yeah, Hampton preventing the corner. But again, West Ham going forwards and looking pretty dangerous. Chelsea just got to be careful here that things don't get silly. 2.5 minutes left for the first half. Again, to be fair, Hampton might just sit on this ball for the next 2.5 minutes.
Hampton will now drill it forwards. Mengwen Lee making a meal of it. Now here is Aggie Beaver-Jones. Looks to dart inside. Nice movement from Beaver-Jones. Great knockout wide right to Ashley Lawrence. Lawrence now will drive inside. Tries to play a ball to Cuthbert. Cuthbert will work hard to get there and does. Wants to come inside with it. Now Macario. Charles. Back down the line into Macario. He tries to reverse it to Charles who made the run beyond. Doesn't quite come.
No. Again, though, Chelsea, they're looking decent in that final third. But not quite. It's not got the same zip. It's not got the same, tempo and style that it did to the first game. It was classy in the first half an hour, and now it's just slowed down a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, it just feels like Chelsea were a little bit hard and fast too early.
Yeah, I think since West Ham changed it up, since they slowed the game down, they took a moment, killed the games, then slowed it down since then, and it's just not just out of their rhythm. Hamano puts the ball to the box here, though. Nuskin just wide. That should be a third for Chelsea, really.
Yeah, should do better. That Shaka Nuskin, really good ball in. And just doesn't really catch it nicely. Heads it just wide. Trying to find that far corner. Should do better. And the ball was brilliant. Yeah, just tries to guide it into the far corner. Not bad, though.
Not bad at all.
No.
Not bad effort.
Does well. She gets the right direction on it, gets the right power on it, doesn't get under it.
Ball up the line, headed down by Jean-Francois. Siren. Nice give and go between her and Denton. Back inside to Anouk Denton. West Ham being hounded here. Mengwen Lee sends it forward to Ueki looking for Martinez. Cut out by Nuskin. Now Chelsea tried to play down the left-hand side. Charles pokes into Macario. Brilliantly held up by Katerina Macario, who will now bring it forwards. And that is a clumsy challenge, ready for Intesiak. But she had knocked the ball out of play first. Or she had to send the ball out of play first, sorry. So that will be a goal kick.
I think she gets away with one hit.
The ball goes out of play, but it's a drag, and she kicks it out for good measure.
Yeah.
But that will be the end of the half. Regardless, the break, Chelsea 2, West Ham 1, goals from Micah Hermano for Chelsea, and of course Aggie Beaver-Jones. West Ham responding through Shakira Martinez, and Chelsea left a little bit dumbfounded.
Yeah, really, really weird.
Take a minute.
First half, Chelsea in complete control for 38 minutes, and then West Ham had one foray forward. But credit to West Ham because they've responded. They started really slowly. Chelsea were playing them off the park, but good stuff from the Blues and but also West Ham because they've done well to get back into this football match. So it's put us into a really interesting position because Chelsea have played the much better stuff and have looked much better, but West Ham are right back in this game. They've got a very, very good chance to potentially get something from this game now that they have, now that they've found one goal. They're only one goal behind, and if they can find a second, then they're back level in this game. So be interesting to see what is going to happen in this second half. But a first half though, a first half that Chelsea played very, very well. They started superbly. They were absolutely brilliant to start this game. They moved the ball quickly. They were zipping it around. It was really, really classy football. The second goal was absolutely brilliant. The ball fired into Macario, the turn, the layoff to Beaver-Jones, and it was a really good finish. But really good stuff from Chelsea. They moved it so nicely. It was a top quality first 30-35 minutes from Chelsea where they looked really good. It was high quality football, and West Ham didn't stand a chance. And then I don't really know what happened, but West Ham has a couple of injury breaks. West Ham had the opportunity to slow the game down, and they managed to get right back into the game. They came forwards randomly at one point and did well, and it was a side shot that was blocked. It fell to Uweki, who just rolled it at Hannah Hampton, and that seemed to spark West Ham into life, and they started moving the ball around. They got on the ball themselves, actually kept it on the pitch, and then a ball over the top that was misjudged. Chelsea only managed to clear it as fast as out wide. The cross was then put in, and again misjudged by Chelsea, and Shakira Martinez brings it down, volleys it past Hannah Hampton, and suddenly it's 2-1 again, and as Phil says, no idea how West Ham are still in this game, never mind only one goal down. Yeah, really bizarre as to how West Ham find themselves in this game. I think there's a strong argument that after half an hour, they could have been 4 or 5-0 down. Because Chelsea were absolutely brilliant. They had 13 shots in the first 28 minutes. It's absolutely ridiculous levels. And I'm stunned, to be honest, that Chelsea only scored 2, but also the fact that West Ham managed to get one themselves and have now got themselves right back into the games. Alex says, in my opinion, Chelsea need a good target striker like Meyer in the front. I think that Beaver-Jones and Macario are doing well. To be fair, I think that Macario's done very, very well as that hold-up striker. The amount of times the ball's been fizzed into her and she's either bought it, taken the touch and played it to someone, or she's gone on and turned herself, has been really, really good. I mean, it's how Chelsea got the second goal. The ball was fed into her, she held it up, flicked it around the corner to Beaver-Jones, and Beaver-Jones scored. Bernie says, hi Harry, hi Bernie, welcome to the stream. But yeah, really good stuff from Chelsea so far. They moved the ball nicely. They've just got to be a little bit careful because things got really sloppy at the end of that first half. And Chelsea got to be careful that it doesn't get out of hand, that something crazy doesn't happen, because West Ham really shouldn't be in this game, but they are. And Chelsea, and all it takes is one goal, one bizarre moment to make this game level. Molly wants to change. Says, do you do this every women's game? Not for all of them, but we try and cover as many possible, or all the ones that are on TV. We did two this weekend in the WSL. We've done 3 sometimes. We usually do 2 or 3 in England alone. We cover the Champions League. We've covered Liga F this season. We've covered Division 1 Femminile, internationals, all sorts. So loads of stuff coming up in the next few weeks. We've got internationals obviously after this week. So England versus Belgium and Belgium versus England. We get to see that game back to back. So that'll be fun. But yeah, we cover as much as possible. We cover as many games as possible, and yeah, we're here every weekend, whether it's cup action, league action, European ties, whatever. Bernie says Chelsea's lack of clinical finishing is their biggest flaw and will always stand in the way of their greatness. I think Chelsea can be clinical when they want, but I do agree that today there's been a lot of attempts that probably should have gone in. The fact that they've had, double digits for shots, but have only put a couple on target does show quite a lot. I think that, yes, they did very, very well to score their 2 goals in quick succession, but realistically, Chelsea should have built on that. They should have gone on and scored more. They could have at least 3 or 4 by now. I mean, the Hermano goal, again, was really good from Macario, holding it up, puts the ball in across the box. Lawrence heads it down to Hermano, who fires it on the volley past King Ashemik. But, yeah, I do think that Chelsea potentially could have scored more in this game already. Phil says West Ham have a real variety of forward options on the pitch and the bench. Yeah, and I think that it's something we highlighted in the build-up, is that West Ham on the counter do pack a punch. That front 3 of Martinez, Ueki and Asayi has caused teams a lot of problems. I mean, they completely tore Arsenal apart. They've scored goals consistently against a lot of teams. So they were always going to pack a punch on the counter, and that's exactly what they've done. They came forward, they caught Chelsea out, and they linked up between them with Asayi crossing it to Martinez and Martinez smashing it home. But yeah, I agree. West Ham do have the players, do have the quality in forward areas to punish any side, and that's exactly what they've done to Chelsea today. Chelsea weren't clinical enough. Yes, I think they played very well, but they could have scored quite a few, and West Ham are back in this game. Now, I don't think it's going to mean much in the grand scheme of things, because I just don't see West Ham scoring again. But wait and see. All it takes is one rare moment.
Yeah, indeed. Have we spoken to people in chat? Or...
Yes, they have. Yeah.
Awesome. So you've read everything. Chelsea fans, says big up everyone. Good to see. But yeah, it was a frustrating first half, I think, from a Chelsea perspective. The fact that it's not more comprehensive. Yeah,
it was a good first half. Don't get me wrong. I think Chelsea played very, very well, and Chelsea will be pleased with the actual performance in the first half. But to come out of that first half only 2-1 up is not a position Chelsea want to be in, because they were cruising. They were absolutely loving life. They were it was all smiles and rainbows, and they were smashing in goals for fun. And then suddenly that all just disappeared randomly, and West Ham got themselves back into the game.
And this is, I think, in a sense, Chelsea's lack of ruthlessness has kept the WSL from getting out of hand this season.
Potentially.
Because if you think about the Liga F, you think about the Premier League, the reason they look so comprehensive is because Barcelona do beat teams 10-1.
Yeah.
They do beat teams 8-1. And consistently they win 4-0, 3-0, 4-0. That kind, those kind of results. And so they do end up scoring 150 goals a season, which feels ridiculous when they play only 20 matches, or statistics like that. So it's one of those where Chelsea keep the league looking less ridiculous with these results. But if Chelsea wanted to, if Chelsea were just ruthless and focused throughout the game, and obviously, the other factor is the fact that WSL clubs are stronger than a lot of Liga F clubs, and so West Ham had the ability and had the players to change how they were playing, and then obviously made life a bit more difficult for Chelsea. But Chelsea should be out of sight, is my a very roundabout way of saying it, but that is my basic point. Chelsea should be out of sight by this point. It should be 4-0, 5-0. They should be looking at the second half going, well, is there any point for West Ham even coming out? That's the sort of thing we should be saying. But instead, it's like, well, actually, West Ham should believe now. They've got 45 minutes, they need a goal, and they just need to keep it tight at the back. When you put it that way, it sounds like quite a simple equation. But I know, obviously, Chelsea will be very difficult for West Ham to do anything against, and Chelsea will likely see this game out. But they've prolonged the inevitable. They're keeping this interesting at the moment.
Yeah, and that's the thing. West Ham did very, very well to come back. I think you have to give them credit. They regrouped well. They found the back of the net, and they worked well to get the goal. But as you say, Chelsea should have put them in a position where it was impossible for them to come back. But they haven't done that, and now Chelsea can't rest as much as Bombastor probably wanted to. Can't make the changes at half time where they take off some players, which could have been could have happened potentially. And they've got to try and see this game through, which I think they will. I do think that Chelsea will come out in the second half, start fast, score 1 or 2 goals, put the game to bed, and then we'll see those subs come on. But it's an extra 10-15 minutes that Chelsea don't really want to have to bother with, but they're going to have to now.
Yeah, and that's the frustrating bit. It's a chance where it's 10 minutes, so they should be putting on. They should be putting on Mia Fisher at half time because it should be 4-0, but it's not, and so they probably aren't. But yeah, it's just one of those. Just should be out of sight. Unfortunately, not. Alex says on England, I'm curious. Maybe Serena will play a Kelly, Alessia, Mido front row. I wouldn't mind it from a Chelsea perspective. Just obviously, I'm hoping by the time we get around to the Euros, it's not that front three. But I think from a Chelsea perspective now, play everyone who doesn't play for Chelsea in that England squad, please. Just Man City players, United players, Arsenal players, bun them all in there. I don't want to see Kira Walsh touch the pitch. Don't see Millie Bright touch the pitch. I'm well aware they probably will. And probably will play 180 minutes. But I don't want to see any of them anywhere near that pitch.
Yeah, all domestic managers will be on the blow up to international managers saying, look, at this business of the season, don't play our players. You only give this player a certain amount of minutes. Whether the international managers will listen to that or not, it'd be interesting to see. But yeah, I think every club, every top club that's still in the Champions League, still fighting for trophies, won't want to see any of their players be picking up injuries or playing loads and loads of minutes over the international break. Which again, I mean, I get you've got to have international breaks, but when it's so close to the end of the domestic seasons, why? We've only got 4 games left of the WSL, and you're putting an international break in now. I think all the international break timings have been wrong. To be fair,
we've still got another international break after this.
Stupid. It's so silly.
After the season before the Euros. I mean, why?
It makes no sense. It's so strange. But I think they got the timing of all the international breaks wrong. It's a bad because, as you say, managers don't want to play. But at the end of the day, if you're a player, like if you're an England player, for example, do you want to play 180 minutes against Belgium twice, or do you want to rest yourself up so you can be at 110% for your domestic club as you see the season out?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun. I mean,
there's no surprise we saw Lauren James part of the last international break. I know she did have a slight injury, but if it was an important game, if that's the Euros, she's in the squad, and that's the difference. I wouldn't be surprised on this international break if we do see players pull out.
Yeah, she pulled out. She came back with Chelsea and was firing all cylinders because she was fully fit. She had 10 days rest and she's ready to go.
Yeah, she had 10 days working on the pitch where Chelsea weren't having to do match day prep and all that sort of stuff. So it can be very beneficial for players not to go on international duty and obviously just take that rest period. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Millie Bright pull out of international duty for that reason. Lucy Bronze is back on for the second half.
And Millie Bright's coming off because Lucy Bronze got the captain's armband.
And being captain on as well. So Chelsea with changes then in the second half.
Interesting to see. This is what we expected. I didn't expect it to happen now because it's only 2-1. But Bombard's still happy to take that risk. So yeah, Millie Bright going to be replaced by Lucy Bronze and Vika Captain is coming in for who I would assume Erin Cuthbert. Because Erin Cuthbert's played a lot of minutes recently. She came on after Cheryl half time against Man City in the WSL. She played 90 minutes against Man City on Thursday, so I'd expect it to be Erin Cuthbert coming off. But that makes sense for Chelsea, and that is smart from Bompastor.
Yeah, Lucky says, been a good half. Nuskin and Charles are in trouble and dropping from the 11. Don't understand what happens. I've seen people criticising Neve Charles' performance. I don't know why. I don't think she's been particularly poor. I think she's had an okay season. Like she missed the first few months. She's been rotated with Sandy Baltimore. Baltimore's also been excellent. I don't think that there's a problem.
I don't think she had a well-beaten season. I don't think she's been incredible, but I don't think she's put her foot. I don't think she's done anything really wrong. It's one of those. At the end of the day, I don't. She's a left back. She's not. I don't expect her to be delivering.
That's quite important.
Yeah, I don't expect her to be delivering 9.5 performances every week because you don't have to. You don't need to.
The difference is Baltimore is going to contribute in attacking areas. That's the point of playing her there.
Yeah. So Cuthbert and Bright off for Chelsea, Captain and Bronze on. That's what we expected, and I think that's important to see. Millie Bright only having to play 45 minutes today.
Talina asked, "What did you make of JRK's performances against City?"
So good.
Brilliant again. I think she's a fantastic player. We've known this for years. Her end product's always lacked. She had a fantastic start to this season, then had a few personal things over the sort of middle of the campaign, and that has impacted her. But if she can come strong at the end of this campaign, that's where it's important. Yeah. Smith is on for West Ham, so swing the ball in the box. and wait for her to catch it would be ideal. But
again,
yeah,
I don't
I
understand.
don't know why they've made this change.
I don't think
Denton's injured.
I don't think Alec Denton did too much wrong in that first half. I think it's just about making a change.
West Ham do get us back underway here at Kings Meadow at the break. Chelsea 2, West Ham 1. West Ham fortunate to still be in this fixture, but they are, and they're going to make the most of it. Well, not with passes like that. Hanshaw knocking it out of play. Chelsea with a throw in on this near side.
Yeah, Chelsea will look to start fast, score early, and just kill any West Ham hope of getting a result.
Yes.
Longer this stays 2-1, longer goes of their chance that West Ham just hit Chelsea on the break. And that is would be far from ideal because
it's able to get under control. Falls to Weaver Jones now, knocks it in front of her. Ziemek will come out and sweep. It's going to fall for Bronze, who sends it back forwards. Nuskin using her body well, lets the ball go to Macario, who will chest it enthusiastically. Back to Hermano, ball down the right-hand side now. Here is Lawrence. Looks to take on a fullback. That is cut out. Zadorski. Hanshaw. Through the legs of Lawrence into a Vivian Asay. And that's out for a Chelsea throw. Not really sure what Hanshaw was doing.
Ryan Skinner only just making her way around the ground. Long half-time break for her.
Macario puts it into the box. Shots at Chelsea's. It's blocked well. And now West Ham will look to break. Smith, her pass is cut out by Charles. Hits the stand. Comes onto the pitch.
Yeah, I think that was a really good block. It was at Mengwen Lee at the back post. Does really well to stop Viva Jones putting that in for 3-1 Chelsea. Really good defending. Did very, very well there. Just to get a body in front of it. And keep West Ham in the tie. Because they've got something to fight for now. And, yes, it may have not been a brilliant first half, but the second half was good enough. That it was good enough that it's put themselves in a position where in the second half they can.
Zadorski being pressed fast. And that ball there coming off Hanshaw. Nope, coming off Hermano, giving us a West Ham throw.
Yeah. And again, West Ham, they were happy. These throw-ins slow the game down, get themselves on the ball. As long as they don't throw away possession, they'll be alright. It's not good enough from Ueki, that.
Yeah.
Just, again, aimless, poor pass. Too many of them for West Ham today. Just that aimless ball, just looking for someone to run onto it or pick it up.
Nuskin. Next Vika captain. But there's someone in the WSL live chat called JK Fake Eden Hazard. I think all women's football YouTube live chats may be the most unhinged places on earth.
Potentially.
For our next hot takes video, I'm just going to go on a DAZN stream and just clip the chat.
I mean, what does that even mean? What is that? I don't get.
Well, she's very good. I don't think she's archetypal of her dribbling style isn't similar to Hazard's.
I don't get where
she's not as direct as Hazard. She doesn't even play on the same side as Hazard.
The only link is Chelsea.
Yeah,
that is the only thing that links them.
But JOK has been brilliant, but
yeah,
not Eden Hazard. It's Bronze. Bjorn sends it forwards. Macario, brilliant hold up, but steamed offside though.
We were in a tight one. I think she probably was just offside.
I'd have no idea.
Okay.
Zadorski, Hanshaw. Through the legs of Hermano, and that falls to Jean-Francois. There's such a disjointedness, I think, in this West Ham side at the moment.
Well,
their back line are so deep.
I should go and go back for her legs and I'd love what's going after that. I don't know. I'm just going to nutmeg her and then see what happens.
But you feel what else could she do? She'd play right in front of her and no teammates around her. Asai dragging down Sioka Nuskin there.
Yeah. Good opportunity for Chelsea.
Alex asking, are Leicester now safe of relegation?
Yes.
Yeah, I think unfortunately the relegation battle's over now.
Yeah.
I think today's result just past 4 points off. Even if they claim a win, they're still a point off.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate, but they didn't pick up points in games they should have earlier in the season. It's put them in a really tough spot.
So many where they could have drawn or won. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I mean, it doesn't help them either that sides like West Ham, sides like Everton have just got better and better and better. And Leicester as well have got better and better and picked up more and more points as the season's gone on.
But also, I think it's from a selfish perspective good for the league, because obviously people will say the obvious is that championship clubs come up and lose immediately, go down immediately, and that is true. And I think that's a problem that needs to be addressed. I think that will be naturally addressed though, with clubs like Birmingham, clubs like London City Lionesses, clubs like Newcastle coming through.
Yeah.
I think it depends. Regardless of who comes up next season, there's going to be huge investment there.
Mm.
And I think obviously Palace haven't got that investment. But it's going to force one of the traditional WSL clubs, one of the established WSL clubs, to invest. Because if London City Lionesses do come up and they spend $2 million on transfers and they break all the records and, I don't know, Katoto's up front or something, then they're going to be a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah. And that's the thing. I mean,
I think the same would be true for Birmingham, probably not to the same extent. I don't think they'll get Katoto, but they're going to sign some good players.
Hegerberg.
Les Sommers.
Keep adding. But I was thinking, people, obviously, though they're not going to get those kind of players, but there is a pull there. They managed to go and get I can't remember his name now. Begins with a G, I think.
PSG manager.
Yeah, London City Lions managed to go get the PSG manager from last year. Jocelyn, good something. But how have they done that in the Championship?
Yeah, they just signed all of the PSG people so that he did Wednesday, by the way.
Big win,
Newcastle. That does leave them top of the league, 2 points ahead of Birmingham.
That's huge. Michelle Kang could be
3 games to go
in the big league, in the big time.
4th of May, isn't it, the final weekend?
Yeah, she's the manager.
That is what you want to do, yeah.
Mary Leas, good ball in. Lucy Bronze heads it up, not really dealt with. Chelsea really can't dealt with like expected.
There'd be a bit more ruthlessness in the second half, if I'm honest.
I thought it'd come out, just deal with any threat, get the job done.
Jocelyn Pritchard.
That's the one.
Pritchard.
I got his first name right.
You said begins with a G, it begins with a J.
Oh no, I thought it was Jocelyn G.
No, it's Jocelyn Pritchard. Jocelyn G.
Oh dear.
Tissiak. Now Smith.
I have no idea what Chelsea are doing.
Shakira Martinez trying to come forwards. Brilliant from Bjorn, but it's going to fall for Smith, who takes aim. Saved well by Hannah Hampton. Phil Easter greeting me on the YouTube chat saying those chats are insane. Arsenal have an army, but we think Kabaji is R9 in a wig.
What? I think I just don't get how. Why would you think? Why is that a thought that someone has had?
At least Ibrahimovic would be a bit more believable. I mean, you wouldn't even need the wig.
Yeah.
And you've got the Swedish connection, but R9. But yeah, I get your point. Phil Easter. It's a crazy place.
Yeah.
To be fair, I think that with our YouTube comment section, not aimed at anyone currently in the live chat. Or anyone specific, really. Just general some of the comments we get sometimes. I reply civilly and I think in my head, Christ. But yeah.
If you have one, Jack's the one that responds to comments.
Yeah.
I don't.
So when you call Harry rubbish, just know it's me responding. 3 laughing faces. Couldn't agree more.
I couldn't respond. But West Ham had more shots on target in this game.
Yeah.
Really clinical. Chelsea just not been clinical.
Hamano gets past a defender, takes aim, and it's more of a cross than a shot in the end. Kept alive here by Neve Charles. Good touch in the space, lays it in there. 2 Chelsea players missing the ball, and it'll feed through to this left-hand side. I say. Plays it forward. Ueki, hounded by Jean-Francois, does get it to Shakira Martinez, though, who's going to be forced backwards. Abby Byrne having to get out of the way there of Martinez's backwards run. And now Smith bursting forwards. Is that a 10 out of 10 dodge there from the referee area?
How did Chelsea not score from that, though? 2 brilliant balls across the box, but again, I don't like. I'm not one of those kind. You know, I don't agree with players. It's not cheating, but it's a bit. Hermano's too nice here. The ball gets played through to her. It's a stonewall penalty if she goes down there, getting pulled by Titiak.
It's just grabbing her.
It's too. I get obviously, and she wants to stay on her feet, and she does put a really good ball in. To be fair, but I just think if you feel that,
but that's the other thing. There's 3 times there a player should just put it at the back of the net.
Yeah.
Or at least got a shot towards goal.
But again, though, no shot for Chelsea, and another opportunity for West Ham from this free kick. Or not.
Ball forwards. It's cleared away. Beaver Jones holds on to it well. Hermano is hacked down there. Ref all around the world symbol signals that she has won the ball, apparently. Captain.
Chelsea just got to be careful. I mean, 17 shots, 3 on target is just not good enough. West Ham, 5 shots, 4 on target. Really clinical stuff from West Ham.
Talina says, predictions for the Barcelona game. That's a way off, Talina. But Chelsea will win. I'll always predict Chelsea to win. They could be playing the Mighty Ducks. I still think Chelsea are going to win.
Not the Mighty Ducks. The Mighty Ducks would win that one.
No. Lawrence feeds it through. Good ball. Nuskin holds it up well. But shot a goal and it's just wide. Again, could that have been a pass inside?
Potentially so, but I don't mind that. But just again, Chelsea just can't find the target. Really good run, really good ball.
Such a good ball, by the way, by Ashley Lawrence. Someone I think's caught a lot of flack in the Chelsea fan base.
Oh, just wide from it. But as you say, you got Captain in there, you got Macario in there, all waiting. I think Nuskin's going past that.
The Phillies makes a good point, saying, I want to see more of Harry's and Adam Malloy. Both have impressed me when I've seen them for West Ham. Same, but alas, get to watch another 45 minutes of Kirsty Smith.
Yeah. Is that
who I think is an okay footballer, but she's not WSF standard anymore.
So, Ben Alec Barley's there.
It's good to see.
That is very good to see.
It's the only Chelsea game he's not going to get assaulted at, to be fair.
I also like the fact he's just in the stands. He's not in some executive area.
What executive area would he be in, Harry?
Well, I don't know.
You're sat on top of the stand.
Helicopter watching from above. I'm guessing he's probably got security with him. He's just there with his kid.
No, that's security. Just really short.
There's a lot like him.
Yeah, maybe his kid is a trained bodyguard.
Maybe.
Ball forward from Nuskin. Tisiak heads it down. Ball now back to King of Shemek.
This game's just got a weird feeling about it.
It's very good to see Chelsea's ownership taking an interest in the women's side. I think after they got to the Champions League semi-finals, it's probably gone, oh my God, money.
I mean, I think there's more chance that I meet Jim Ratcliffe. There's more chance Jim Ratcliffe comes to my house.
There's more chance he just pops around to do it. I don't know, have a chat.
There was someone there from Man United because they cut to them.
The new...
They just kept cutting to...
Director of football.
This ball bloke. Not the head of women's football, no, not the interim head of women's football, some bald man with glasses. They just kept cutting to him whenever something bad happened.
Is it Joel Glazer?
No. I know what he looks like.
Is it the new
Chief Executive Officer?
Yeah, the new the interim CEO.
Yeah.
They haven't had anyone permanently at Man United.
Yeah, no, they just kept cutting to him. Like, Everton would counter attack and they'd go just wide and it just cut to him. It's like, what? He's gonna they sack him because Everton had a counter attack. Oh, that's a deliberate pullback.
And it's got to be a yellow card, and the referee pulled the yellow card out before she even blew the whistle.
And Tisiak's hurt herself in bringing down Macario. But yeah, this game's just got a funny feeling about it.
On Amber Tisiak, I think she's a player who I'm so conflicted on. Because sometimes she's utterly brilliant.
Yeah.
I think she's a real weapon at corners. I think she's a very physical defender. But at other times, she's a bit of a liability in the sense she just gives away so many fouls.
Again, Arsenal away. She scored a double from corners, was absolutely brilliant. Liverpool away in the FA Cup, where she just went and assaulted Camelia Fox and got straight red carded for it. But I don't get what she thought.
The Chelsea game in January, she was shocking.
Yeah. But again,
own goal and just looked miles
Yeah.
off it and just kept trying to attack Ramirez, I think it was, up front that day.
but I remember on that red card just made the way she ran 20 yards just to go put in a red card tackle. So bizarre.
Billy says it's Omar Barada, he's the guy they got from City. Oh yeah, I forgot they got him. Not done it, has he?
No. Right. Chance for Chelsea to double their lead.
Just fan says maybe they want to sign more young players for the women's team now. Well, they already have, haven't they? Viola Berman coming in for the summer. They signed Frankie Lighting in the January window. Mercario, that is blocked. And now Shakira Martinez will look to break for West Ham. Hamado with a good tackle in there, and that will go for Bronze, who will keep hold of the ball. I think it is Chelsea's. The directive now should be for the women's team is a focus on youth. I mean, obviously, keep looking at if we can sign Naomi Girma-esque talents, but she's still relatively young. I think this summer the focus has to be Trinity Rodman. Because if Chelsea want to be the best team in the world, they've got to sign the best players in the world.
Yeah.
And I think Rodman is, short of Hansen, who they're not going to get, she's the most attainable, best right winger in the world.
Yeah. Yeah. She is. She is. I don't know. I just don't.
She's up there as one of the best right wingers in the world. You not a fan?
No, I agree. But I don't know. Something just doesn't feel. I don't think Rodman and Chelsea. I just don't. I don't know. I don't associate it. But equally, I wouldn't have associated Walsh and Chelsea.
Or Girma.
No, that one I would have.
I don't know. I still feel it doesn't feel believable when I see her in a Chelsea shirt. Here's Hamano. I still feel like it's a prank, and she's not actually Naomi Girma.
Walsh is ex-City and was destined for Arsenal.
Oh yeah, no, that made no sense that we signed her.
Whereas Girma was always was always rumoured to be Chelsea and did end up being Chelsea. Rodman.
Yeah, but I always expected her to end up at Lyon or Barca or something like
Lyon don't need centre half.
But I think it's a sign the tide is changing. The WSL is a more competitive league. There's more money in the league. There's more investment in the league. So naturally, players are going to gravitate towards that. And I think Chelsea are now in a position where they are genuinely competing for the Champions League.
But I think it's also good to see it's not just at Chelsea. You know, you've seen Arsenal bringing Mariana Caldente, City bringing Caroline. These are players who are consistently playing at the top level and competing for elite trophies and elite tournaments.
Rodman just signed a new deal, says Phil East. Nothing stops Chelsea. Paul Winstanley. Catch a plane.
Sorry, Mike Hermano has made 12 crosses this match. The next person is New Charles.
More than everyone else combined, by the looks of it.
That's incredible. 12 crosses, and Chelsea haven't scored for a single one.
Alex says, curious where Lexi Potter's future lies.
Chelsea. I think she's at the level.
I'm not 100%. It'll be up to Bonpastor ultimately. She'll see how she does in pre-season.
It depends how far she's off captain.
But I wouldn't be surprised if there's another loan move for our next year. Because I think when you look at what minutes does she get if Jean-Francois now becomes a starter?
Yeah. The problem is also for Chelsea, they need to stop loaning players to the Championship side who come up. Because they did it last year with Brooke Aspin and that didn't go great.
I've done it again with Aspin.
Done it again with Aspin. Done it this year with Potter as well.
And they loaned Georgia Fox to Palace as well, and then she immediately did her ACL.
Yeah, that didn't help Palace.
But that's a lot of Chelsea players up for Crystal Palace. Yeah. But if London City Lioness has come up, I don't think that's a bad loan move for Potter.
I don't think they need loans. They're just going to buy everyone. They'll go buy Rodman. Hello.
Michelle Kane just walked into WSL with a whole new team.
Honestly, it's obviously we joke about it, but it is incredible. It would be incredible for the league because she would just come in and ruffle a few feathers.
Yeah,
she's one of those people where she's got to where she is because she doesn't mind making a statement and doesn't mind, and frustrating some people.
I think she'll just dual sign all the Lyon players.
Dual signing at the top level.
This is Rom Lechter. That's just PSG anyway.
Yeah.
Doesn't even work.
Here's Daditao Kiani. Running down the left foot.
This is Lindsay Horan.
Yeah.
No, that's Lindsay Heaves. Different people. This is the unmarried version.
Pre-marriage and post-marriage. I do think I'll be intrigued to see where they'd end up. Whether they would they be in the fight?
It would either be spectacularly awful as they get relegated, having spent 15 million or something, or they'll be right in like the fight for Europe.
I don't think either of those things are going to happen. They were going to be none of my options, but okay. My options are going to be they just about stay up, or they do come in and establish themselves in that mid-table battle.
I think it's one extreme or the other.
Fair enough. They go down with no points.
That's what happens when you spend loads of money. It's either just like
they might even come up
fire, or you're on fire. Arguably, fire depicts both.
We're going to see Birmingham back at the top level.
Yeah.
Most recent,
with in money now.
Yeah, most recent side to win the FA Cup by the Big Four.
Which speaks volumes about how uncompetitive it is. At the sharp end, West Ham with an effort blocked. It's bounced around the area. Abby Bird can't see through the sun, let alone the bodies in front of her.
What a mess for Chelsea. West Ham are still in this. Lauren James is coming on, and so is Mia Fischel. Chelsea are readying changes, understandably so. Chelsea, just their lack of clinicality could cost them in a minute or two.
I'm ready.
You're ready, big fish.
Indeed.
But yeah, Chelsea have got to be careful here. They need to find a goal just to put this game to bed.
Yeah. Well, that is why Lauren Jones and Mia Fischel are coming on, ultimately.
Yeah, that's what they do. They score goals.
Go on, Lauren. Go score a goal.
Just toyed with West Ham for enough. Now bring on Lauren James. Let us score a goal and just... No, that's it.
Beaver Jones and Hamano making way. Hamano won't be able to do any more crosses. Beaver Jones. Good afternoon for Beaver Jones. A really strong performance, I think. Yeah,
really good stuff from both, and they both played very, very well. Hamano, both of them scoring. So yeah, both goal scorers off for Chelsea. Two good performances from two very, very good players. Good talents. Another issue for another West Ham player.
And this time it's Meng Wen Lee with the problem. But she is swiftly back to her feet. But she will have to go off for a moment.
Now Chelsea looking to kill this game off now, but I don't know. Something does just feel strange.
Yeah. Billy says Amy Merrick looks like a really good coach. She's done well at Birmingham. I thought that about Laura Kaminsky at Palace. I do just think, though, to be fair, with Birmingham having another year in the Championship, most likely now, they could come up. If they were to have another year in the Championship, I think that could actually be quite beneficial. In the sense that they'll have another year to... for Merrick's to bed in as a coach, for the side to bed in as a team, before they come up to WSL. I just think you look at Palace this season, they weren't ready.
Yeah. Merrick's where was she? She was assistant, weren't she, somewhere?
Under Skinner, wasn't she?
Was it?
I want to say so.
Isn't there someone that was under assistant with Phil Neville?
That could be her as well.
Potentially. I can't remember where she was at, though.
Well, she does have an England coat on.
No, she was under youth manager. I think that's what it was.
She doesn't have Wikipedia.
That doesn't help. Correct me if I'm wrong, I think she was youth manager. But I might be wrong. And I know that the England youth manager's really chopped and changed over the last few years.
Yes, so she was the England under-19s head coach.
That's the one. Yeah, I remember that. The under-19 Euros led England to the final. Yeah, I think she's a good coach. And then the one I can't remember the name of.
She was a coach at Brighton under Hope Powell.
That's what it was, yeah.
As well.
So she's been around. She's got quite a bit of experience.
And the reason she came in at Birmingham is because Hope Powell is a technical director now at Birmingham.
Ah.
So that's why she's given her that opportunity. For sure. Holds it up nicely. Here's Lawrence. For sure. Tries to get a shot away. It's blocked out for a throw. Do you think Mia Fischel, is there too much pressure on Fischel now?
I don't think so. I think that there's going to be next season.
But do you not think she'll look at the fact that there are probably 4 strikers ahead of her now and realise she's kind of got to come in and show immediately that she's on the level?
I don't know. I think it'll be an interesting one.
And the other question is, would she be exploring her options?
Potentially. It depends if Sam Kerr comes back and fires.
I don't see any. other way.
Yeah,
Anything
but
else happening?
are we talking Sam? Like, it depends what level, I think. And for same
But
Fischel.
half of Sam Kerr is
problem is,
still the best striker.
Fischel's got the thing is the reason I say Fischel's got time is because it was such a long injury. Chelsea will give her time because you have to, because you can't expect her to come in and perform within 2 games or something. So she will get time. That's gone off the pitch. No, it hasn't. Play off. Lawrence throw, but yeah, I think that Fischel will get time, but that time will run out eventually. But I do think she will perform.
Yeah.
But again, Chelsea don't need her to deliver consistently. They just need her to.
But yeah, so on a personal note, though, do you think she would be looking at other options?
Potentially, it depends where.
Liverpool.
That would be brilliant for Liverpool. Imagine her and Olivia Smith up. Sophia, I was right first time. Olivia Smith.
If they got Sophia Wilson, that'd be incredible.
I mean, yes, they would win the. No,
they'd be close.
Not after watching Gemma Clark defend today. But yeah.
True.
I mean, how they lost that game, I'll never know.
They lost to a side literally everyone else was beating.
They were superb against United. They beat Arsenal in the FA Cup. Then they got dismantled by the Gunners away, and then just lost to a relegation threatened Villa.
Alex says Michelle Can loan some Lyon bench players to the Lionesses like Svava, Debritz, or even imagine Hegerberg.
Oh, what a ball that is!
Oh, same. It's saved. I don't know if she'd be able to get anyone of that caliber, but she'd definitely.
London City Lionesses.
If they give her enough money, WSL football, confirmed starter, who knows? But they won't pick anyone that's integral to the Lyon operation.
No. It'll be youth talents. The youth will come
get
through.
loaned there, and they will sign any of the older players. So if they brought in Katoto, Les Sommer,
He's
not unbelievable.
I might see Les Sommer rock up in
that vivid green kit. It's not vivid green.
Turquoise.
It's a weird shade between green and blue, and
it's turquoise.
Yeah.
What do you mean? It's turquoise.
It's not turquoise.
That's teal then. Lauren James, lovely footwork, puts the ball in off the bar. Chelsea just cannot find that third goal.
Yeah, it's much more light blue than I picture it in my head.
Really good football from Chelsea down the left-hand side.
Yeah, the kit's very blue.
Lauren James, lovely dart inside, across, hitting the crossbar. But Chelsea still haven't killed this game off. And all it takes is one chance for West Ham.
Mm-hmm. Phil says, people in the USA think Kerr will go there. Well, once she's finished a Liverpool loan, we'll see.
Hey.
One at Chelsea is going nowhere.
No Sam Kerrs are going to...
Manuela Parvy's coming on for West Ham, replacing...
They're going for it.
Zadorsky.
Or maybe they're not.
And then Ueki is off. For...
There's loads of changes going
Eva
on.
Nystrom. Mangwan Lee's gone. Poibel's on. So change of shape, because that...
They're going
It's
for
a 4-4-2.
They're going for the game, West Ham. They know they've got a chance. Rayan Skinner smells the point. Chelsea have got to be careful here, because this is the thing. Having an 8-point gap with 5 games to go, to start before this match, is a very good position to be in. And because, as I said, you're only 3 wins from the title. But you're also only 3 games from complete that gap dissipating.
Yeah.
And especially with the fixtures.
Right.
We've still got to play Man United, Chelsea. They don't want to be dropping points to West Ham.
No, I think that's is a bit of a problem at this stage in the season now for Chelsea, is that complacency.
Mm.
But how do you avoid it? Chelsea's focus has to be on the UWCL.
Yeah.
And of course, with a eye on the FA Cup. FA Cup semi-finals coming up in a few weeks' time.
Oh, what a poor pass from Lawrence.
Ball.
Oh, that's got to be better. It's got to be better from West Ham. That ball from Brynjar's dotted, just not good enough, looking for Shakira Martinez down the line.
Yeah. Clipper says, I'm from the US. We think everyone over the age of 28 is coming in. It might have something to do with Beckham and Messi, and just about every other has been. Sam ain't there yet. I think that's interesting. For obviously, it's different with the women's game, but I think they are. The problem is that the NWSL is starting to become a bit of a retirement league, in the sense that the best American players are starting to leave for Europe, and a lot of the players that moved to NWSL now are older or a bit like mercenaries. I mean, you look at some of the more high-profile signings recently, and you've got players like Germer and Caroline leaving the league, and you've got players like Adriana Leon and Kenza Dali, who aren't bad players, but they're not Germers and they're not Carolines. And so I think, obviously, that's just a couple examples, but it definitely feels like the NWSL is having an MLS-type crisis.
Yeah.
I think the MLS is probably going the other way now because of the explosion of association football in the United States. There's going to be so many more players coming through. For sure. Puts it in there. Nuskin's effort is just what I mean. You look at like
association soccer.
No. The reason I call it association football is to differentiate it. Well, that's where soccer comes from.
Yeah, but
soccer.
I don't like that. I don't like the word soccer.
Well, just say association football then.
Yeah,
you're the one that brought up soccer.
I just realised I hate it. I just think that just football. Just stick with everything's football.
Yeah.
And then you have American football. That's the way you...
Well, yeah, association with American football. I really don't need to make that distinction because there isn't any American football.
We just play softball.
No, like cricket.
Oh yeah, cricket, yeah. Bowls. West Ham are very much in this game. I'm still stunned, to be honest.
That's the problem for football in the US is in the men's game. Obviously, the women's game is different. I'd say football will probably be the top spot in the US. What a save!
That's a really good start. Too much time for Hanshaw, and Chelsea have got to be careful here that they don't end up dropping points. This is a game that after half an hour should have been 4-0. Not enough shots on the target, and Hannah Hampton pulls off a brilliant stop to deny Hanshaw. Too much time on the edge of the area there. Really good save from Hampton. Chelsea remain ahead. Big 13 minutes now. This is very similar to Chelsea-Aston Villa at the start of the season. Chelsea are just having to hold on because West Ham looks to be the ones who want to come on strong at the end.
And the ball bouncing around the penalty area. West Ham trying to push it towards goal, partly with acrobatic effort, with little consideration for the people around her. Vika Katzin trying to carry it forward to Sai with a big tackle in there. Was clean though, it is Poibel. Touch too heavy and Fischel picks it off, and now Chelsea will look to break.
Because now Chelsea are the ones trying to slow the game down. It's really interesting how football just chops and changes sometimes. First half, it was Chelsea who were going hell for leather and West Ham who need to slow it down and take a minute. Now it's Chelsea who want to slow it down and West Ham who want to move it quickly. Silly foul from Lawrence.
Lawrence, I think, here will go into the referee's book. Oh, that foul.
Just been a cut of them from Ash Lawrence. Yeah, well, not just an error, but the errors of the poor pass that led to a breakaway a minute ago, and that is just a clumsy foul. Yes, Asai's cutting inside, but Jean-Francois right there with her. Unnecessary foul, that. And we saw how earlier, when Everton gave away an unnecessary foul, that led to a Man United goal. I mean, yeah, also Courtney Brosnan did a big O with her hands, it went through them, but forget about that part. It didn't need to make the foul.
Yeah. West Ham then whipping the ball into the box. It's headed on. Jean-Francois deals just about, and James is going to get there. And she can carry this ball forward to Chelsea. Pokes it off of Poibel. That's out for a Chelsea throw. In no rush to take this, though. Oh, the Blues. Lauren James making her way up the line with the football.
I'm guessing this is going to be the one, where she brings it up and then drops it for Charles. Pavy's going to go help Charles to pick the ball up.
The ball did not go off.
No.
Right here. Charles carrying it forwards. Poked in behind. Macario looking to give chase. And that's not how played by Tisiak. And again, West Ham players will have to encourage Chelsea players to pick up the ball. Alex asks, very poor second half. Yeah, well, Chelsea just haven't bothered getting going, and West Ham haven't been able to finish off chances they have had, the fleeting opportunities they have had. So it's just one of those games.
Yeah, it's not very poor from either side. It's just lacklustre from both. But because Chelsea are happy just to sit and conserve and just hold on to what they've got, and West Ham can't really put a dent in that. But the problem is, all it takes is West Ham to get one chance, and suddenly Chelsea's plan is completely foiled.
Yeah, well, they've had chances. It just forced them taking one, which is difficult. Laura James puts the ball into a good area. Fischel heads across goal. Chance for Chelsea. Good clearance, though, from Zadorski. From Nystrom, sorry. No idea why Nystrom didn't start, by the way.
No.
He's been brilliant for them in recent weeks. Macario to Lawrence. Lovely give and go. Ball inside. Nystrom gets ahead to it again. Macario will get in front of Asayi. And ends up kicking it off for West Ham.
Good pressure from Asayi. Forces the error from Macario. Another Chelsea change. Walsh for Nusken.
And a chance now.
Chelsea to a double then. Double pivot just to hold on.
Possibly Jean-Francois could be higher.
Potentially, yeah.
We'll see.
We will see. But Chelsea clearly just wanting to conserve and just hold on in these final 10 minutes. Get a foot on the ball with the likes of Kira Walsh and just look to see this game
exactly.
through.
Walsh comes in, adds control, dictates the
Yeah.
tempo. Just see the game out. It's the game plan now. Bronze pokes it forward for Shell. Holds it up nicely to Walsh. Now captain down the line. Fischel will battle to try and win it back. She's trying to sit out for a corner. Will win a throw.
Again, good hassle.
I mean, Chelsea might try and run the clock down now for 9 minutes.
Yeah. Which is
They killed 3 or 4 here
it's bizarre.
by trying to get the ball to the corner. And they are now in the corner again. Here's Jean-Francois. Walsh. Still going, Kira Walsh, and that, though, is out for a West Ham goal kick.
King of Shemik's not in any hurry. Someone needs to tell her team are 2-1 down with 8 minutes to play.
Indeed.
Just strolling over to the football. Well, after half an hour, I thought this was going to be a convincing battering by Chelsea, and West Ham were going to be on the end of a very harsh scoreline. But it's
hasn't
been
exactly panned out that way, has it?
no. And Rayan Skinner, I mean, her subs say everything. Skinner and West Ham feel they can get a result from this game. They really do. They believe they can get something from this match. Again, Chelsea just throwing it straight back to West Ham. It's good pressure, though.
As you say, Cat applying that press. Lovely turn in there from Siren. Shakira Martinez will let the ball do the work. Here's a say. Puts it across in there, and that is claimed well by Hannah Hampton. And she will drop to the floor.
Yeah, good piece of goalkeeping that. Asai just, it's not the right ball, just gets it horribly wrong, puts it too close to the goalkeeper, swings it in, closer to going in than it was to reaching any of her teammates. Problem as well, when you put in a deep floated cross, when you've got Parvy and Shakira Martinez in there, it just isn't going to work.
No.
Again, it's just about being smart, playing to your strengths.
Clifford says, and we were predicting 10-0. That's exactly why I distanced myself from your comments, Clifford.
Yeah, the important word in that sentence is the pronoun. We is not the correct one.
We were not involved in that. Hillshire Brothers says Chelsea are naturally exhausted across the squad. 100%. I think this, Chelsea played so much football recently. And so many high octane games, high energy games. So it's understandable why there is that feeling of exhaustion quite apparent in the squad.
Yeah.
Must have worked hard today.
That's the thing. The problem is for Chelsea, the performance has got flatter and flatter as the game's gone on, which is just it meant that as the game has continued, the game has got more equal and more equal. I don't think it will get to a point where it is level, but you never know. Big 6 minutes now. Oh,
lovely
brilliant.
drive from Shakira Martinez. And now it's Poyvel. Pass inside, Siren. James tries to bring her down, can't get the ball. Here's Poyvel looking to take on Bronze. Chance for West Ham. Poyvel driving inside. Poyvel gets a shot away, it's blocked. West Ham call for handball, it's not. Chance for Siren. Walsh gets dispossessed in the box. Bronze sees it out.
Wow, West Ham really probing now. Really good stuff from Poibel down the left-hand side. Lovely little run.
So many chances to prevent that for Chelsea.
Too
even
easy.
If it was a foul earlier in the move.
That's too easy to let her cut inside like that. Big block from, is it Cuthbert in there? Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Siren's touch is just too heavy. But West Ham really knocking on the door now in these last few minutes.
And Chelsea building up now. Bronze.
It's not a bad ball at all. Working well headed away that by Nystrom.
Out now for a Chelsea throw. Interesting that Pichel's come on and played on this right-hand side while Macaro's gone through the middle. Lauren James is on to in attacking midfield.
Yeah, Chelsea have gone to the 4-2-3-1, I think. No, actually no, because that means one of Welsh, Cuthbert or Jean-Francois out on the wing.
It's more just... No, Cuthbert came off early, didn't she? But...
Did she?
Yeah, it's Shock and Niskin up there.
No, Niskin.
I think the captain's right.
Oh, yeah.
Cuthbert came off at half-time.
Oh, yeah. Wondered that. Was he got the block in there a minute ago then?
No, Erin Cuthbert.
No, I know that. That looked like Erin Cuthbert.
Yeah.
It's the way she threw herself in there and right off.
But playing like a paper aeroplane there, because Bumper still raised her arms and you couldn't see it from her, and they just appeared out of her hands. There's that natural plane. Or a really, really tiny plane that's remote controlled. We're not sure.
I am. That's a long throw. Again, this is what West Ham want. They want this ball bouncing around and causing havoc. Chelsea want to get it down the deck and just control. Oh, Lauren James, that's superb.
Brilliant from LJ. Now Chelsea will look to break.
It's glued to her feet.
For Shell. You can't quite get there out now for a throw on this near side.
It's those fine margins, because if she brings that down, she's away on a counter-attack. Fine margins there between West Ham breaking away and a Chelsea throw. Ash Lawrence, the one to take it. Needs to try and find a blue shirt this time. That's flicked on really well by Captain.
That did not go.
I'm not sure what Nystrom's tried to do there initially, though. She just tries to chest it down, but it's too low, so it just hits her midriff. And yeah, I mean, she didn't go out, but it overran. Lawrence with an half row. Chelsea are just happy to work it up this line in the last couple of minutes. Again, it's gone out.
Chelsea throwing. Dubious. Lawrence. That one is cut out. No, just let it go for another throw. Chelsea are just running down the clock here. What would be an important 2-point victory? Alex, is there any possibility City can catch up points in 4 games?
No.
Not with Chelsea, but
with the yeah.
In terms of getting Champions League football, yeah, it's a very real possibility because of United's fixture list. They finish up with West Ham and then the other big three. So, yeah, there's a chance that City still get UCL. They've got to rely on United dropping a lot of points though, which they could. As I say, United could lose to this West Ham side. They could also lose to Arsenal, Chelsea, City.
Yeah, that's the thing. If United do beat West Ham, though, then City are relying on United losing 2 and drawing 1 or losing 3.
Is it 7 points now? Isn't it after?
Yeah, so that's the thing. It's a big... City need United to lose... This was the big game for me today. Man United Everton was the big game. Because Everton were probably could add a sort of decent chance of taking points of United.
And arguably, the first 20 minutes they should
What is Bronze trying to do there?
Well, let's say he's coming forwards, ball into the box, headed out. Now Hamano. Not Hamano, sorry, Bronze.
You don't try and dribble it.
Macario competing for it, does well. He's brought down. Ref waves play on.
I mean, I thought she was just taken out, to be honest.
Yeah. I think so. But oh well.
I think we'll get a pretty decent added time. Chelsea looking to come forward and seal the deal. Captain got options left and right. Has to go right. Does so.
For sure. Holds it up. No, it's dealt with.
Just too slow. Mikaro up there is absolutely knackered. Well back by Lauren James. Again, Chelsea just got to hold on to the ball. Just conserve it now.
Hampton.
4 to play. It's not that many, relatively, compared to the other times we see nowadays.
Yeah.
But the most important factor is it's enough time to score a goal.
Indeed it is. Chelsea have got to hold on. Walsh. Lawrence. Walsh. Michelle tries to hold it up. Here's Brian Yazdottir, lifts it forwards. An important interception from Jean-Francois. Captain engaging in a game of headers. Fischel brings it down. Bronze now. Will send it forwards. Macaro tries to flick it on. It's going to drop in there between Nystrom and Siren. Siren sends it forwards. Nasei with Lawrence on her back. Spins her. And now driving to the right-hand side, moving from left to right. The ball moves further as it finds Smith. Smith putting it into the box. Martinez at that level. Chelsea 2, Man City, West Ham 2. Getting caught out again. And Martinez at the double. And an absolute mess from Chelsea.
We said it's been coming. Chelsea have been lacklustre second half and West Ham have just hung in there. Chelsea didn't kill the game off in the first half, haven't dealt with it in the second, and West Ham have just hung in there. For 45 minutes, they get their opportunity, and it's a really good header from Martinez. The clinicality of West Ham today has earned them a point so far. It's really, really strong. Really strong from West Ham.
It's just too easy. Lawrence has got to deal better with Vivian Asai. No one that deals with Asai, and Smith is completely unopposed. Putting this ball into the box, and Ashley Lawrence.
I mean, she gave away a penalty.
Is doing nothing.
Lawrence doesn't mark Martinez and trips up Puyball.
So she let Asai spin away from her. She doesn't mark the player in the box that heads it home. It's just 2 mistakes from Ashley Lawrence there.
Yeah. I don't think Asai is offside there. It's very tight with Bronze, but I don't think it makes a difference to the. It doesn't affect the goal.
Well on.
No, Bronze was Bronze.
No, I was looking at it.
Oh, okay. It was so, but it doesn't affect the goal. And again, Chelsea, I don't understand
From Bronze.
why the suggestion this second half was to come out and conserve. Why wasn't it to come out and kill the game off?
Macario. Can't believe that one's been flagged for handball. West Ham have had 2 that weren't.
Yeah. But West Ham, their clinicality, could earn them a brilliant result.
And Shakira Martinez in great form and keeps up their scoring record. 5 in the last 7 now in the WSL.
We said that front three could punish them. 2 goals for her today. She's been brilliant.
Ultimately, this shouldn't matter much in the context of Chelsea's season, but it's a silly result that they shouldn't have let happen.
The problem is, it might, because if United do get a result at Chelsea now, then suddenly the gap's 2 points. And that is a tight race and a half. Well, this game isn't over yet.
Chelsea are 6 clear now.
Oh, yeah, it's a draw. As it stands, anyway. West Ham.
Now West Ham.
Yeah. Fair enough. They've got the point. They're happy with that. They don't want to. I mean, Parvey wants to go.
What's the problem? Chelsea's been trying to time waste for
I don't get
15 minutes. It never works.
No.
Francois crunched in that tackle. Lawrence plays it wide into Fischel. Again, I don't really know why Fischel's playing as a right winger.
And Hanshaw are trying to fight on this far side, but Chelsea just, as you say, I don't understand why they've decided to try and play like the underdogs and defend a 2-1 lead, because they've been punished for it.
Should never concede the first, and then decisions from there have paved way for a second.
Yeah, could have been 3 or 4 up by half time. That first half an hour was superb. Chelsea had 13 shots in about half an hour. Didn't put enough on target. Didn't put enough in the back of the net. And that could cost them 2 points today.
Yeah. Alex says, in my opinion, Bronze must do better against Martinez. She's not a position, though. She's not a centre-back.
It's also not a player.
Yeah.
Because Poibel, yes, it usually would be, but Poibel and Martinez had rotated. So the centre-half should pick up the player who's around the centre, and Lawrence should be on the player at the back post. Instead, Lawrence tripped up Poibel and wasn't marking Martinez.
Here is Lauren James. We still play on, of course, with the... after that goal came in stoppage time, ball into the box. It's going to drop in there for Fischel. It's for Captain. Now Walsh takes aim, blocked. And now left for Chelsea to compete for it, and that is cleared long, and that will be the end of the game. Chelsea 2, West Ham 2. Not the result the Blues would have wanted, just didn't kill off a dominant first half. And West Ham managed to get away with a point. And an incredible performance from Shakira Martinez, sloppy from Chelsea. And the Blues dropped from 8 points in front to 6. It shouldn't matter for Chelsea, but it's a result they won't be happy with.
Yeah, it's a type of result that just adds another element to things. It does mean that another drop of points does put Chelsea in trouble. But with 4 games to go, a 6-point lead is still strong. But, full credit to West Ham. They took advantage of Chelsea not being up to the standard. They hung in there in the first half when they were, to be honest, they were completely outplayed for half an hour. But they hung in there. They got a goal against the run of the play. They just dug their heels in for the second half, remained firm, didn't concede again. When they got their opportunity on the counter, a really good header from Shakira Martinez, and they walk away from Kings Meadow with a deserved point. So fair enough to Ryan Skinner and West Ham. They got it right today. They hung on at times. They rode their luck, but that's what you need in football to get points against the big sides. And Chelsea didn't do enough. Not good enough. European hangover potentially, rotated side potentially, but overall, wrong decision making that second half. Why Bombastor and Chelsea decided to conserve rather than just kill the game off in that second half, I have no idea.
Well, we'll be back in the morning to review that and all the action from this WSL weekend. So join us tomorrow that's tomorrow afternoon. Actually, our usual WSL preview will be out. We'll be recording it in the morning. Other than that, we'll be back on Friday with England as they continue their Nations League campaign. And then we're back with domestic action the weekend after with FA Cup semi-finals. Yes. That, though, is everything from us today. Thanks for everyone that's joined us. Apologies again for the technical trouble we had at the start of the stream. But thank you, everyone that has joined us from the start. And then, of course, with this second part. Thank you, guys. If you are new, make sure to hit subscribe as well. We've seen loads of new subscribers today. It's fantastic to see. We've had a huge spike in new subscribers recently. So it's great to see so many people loving the content we're making and getting involved with the community. And of course, if you want to get involved with the community even more, make sure to go ahead and join our Discord linked in the description. That, though, is everything for this stream. Thank you guys very, very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.